a few things happen there. One is that I've set my boundaries with that prospect and let them know, like, look, I'm happy to do this added value stuff for you, but if we go to another meeting and it becomes a consulting session, that I'm interested in helping, I can help with a service. But if you just want to, let's say maybe, and people do this, people will they'll try to fish for information and see if they can walk away from something like that, with not having to pay for that information.
Welcome to Auga Brand Designs, your creative accountability partner in all matters of branding disciplines. If you like the content, subscribe, comment, like and share. On today's episode, founder and creative director Nino Monaco discusses how and when he brings up the topic of money with prospects.
As it pertains to what I do, what I like to do is have that initial conversation and say, would you like to have a discussion? And let's call it, the discovery discussion. And so, I'll say, for half an hour, we can have a discovery. And, during that conversation, I try to see if there is synergy and if there are any services that I could provide for that individual. And so I'm gauging that. And at the same time, that's when I let them know about what I can offer. And that is also an opportunity for me to give them added value and give them some food for thought. So at the end of that discussion, I ask if they want to find out more about some of the services that I provide. And if then at that moment there are a service and or two that they might be interested in and want to hear more about, and they agree to have another meeting, that is when I basically let them know that this is how I work. If we have another meeting and we're talking specifics, then that becomes consulting, and that is a consulting session. And so then I will suggest that during this consultation I will give them the information, and it'll be free of charge if they decide to go with a service. And if they don't, then I suggest that they need to pay a certain amount for the consultation. That way, a few things happen there. One is that I've set my boundaries with that prospect and let them know, like, look, I'm happy to do this added value stuff for you, but if we go to another meeting and it becomes a consulting session, that I'm interested in helping, I can help with a service. But if you just want to, let's say maybe, and people do this, people will they'll try to fish for information and see if they can walk away from something like that, with not having to pay for that information. And so I make it clear, this is an opportunity for us to get to know where the parameters are, where our boundaries are. And sometimes, people will say, yeah, let's do it. And then at the end of it, we'll decide one way or the other which way it's going to go, which is fine, as long as that's already been kind of established and put in place. Then we both know where we stand. And it also, let's that prospect know that I do have boundaries. I want to help, but I also don't want to, be giving consultation sessions for free. And that is something that I would suggest. The money conversation, people shy away from it, but I would suggest find a way to talk about it sooner rather than later. And this is a contentious topic because it goes down that rabbit hole, right? And there's a lot of moving parts to it as well, especially when it comes to then the negotiating piece. how do you negotiate? That's a whole other story, and I don't think we have time for that now. But in a nutshell, that's how I deal with that situation.